Matt, another huge 3 points. Momentum feels like it's really starting to build now. How do you feel about that result?
Obviously delighted with the result, really pleased with the manner of the performance. We could have made it a little bit easier on ourselves by scoring that second goal, but maybe at 1-0 it kept our sharpness, kept our focus in terms of doing what was needed, and I think to a man most players did that today, which is a difficult place to come to, and they put us under pressure at times, and we had to head a few from underneath our crossbar and a few goal line clearances, but I felt we had the upper hand in terms of moving the ball, but we were always going to be not open to but prone to a physical attack at some stage, so delighted we've come through it.
Obviously, you added Kieran Phillips to the squad, and he's done exactly what you brought him in to do.
Good finish, a really good finish.
Striker's instincts.
Yeah, I think he was actually on the floor looking the other way when the ball went in the back of the net. So we'll have to make sure he gets some pictures of that finish, because that was a bit of a poach who's been on the move, and knowing where the goal was without even having to look at it and take his time, because he had no time to finish that. So I'm delighted he's off the mark. That front line's looking stronger with Sam's introduction again, and we've all of a sudden got a few bodies in terms of competition for the top end of the pitch. But centre forwards always thrive on goals and confidence, and that will give them a really big boost.
And actually, it felt very similar to the Walsall game, scoring just before half time, because it really killed off sort of the end of that half the opposition.
Bradford started well. Got us pinned back in at times, and for the first time we started to move ourselves up the pitch and got down the side of their centre halves. The space was always going to be on the outside of the pitch in terms of the way the two teams were set up. It was basically how we got the ball there, whether we had to win it in midfield or certainly in terms of the back three, and then tidy it wide and then hurt them in the space. And Kieran and Giovanni did it well at times. I still wanted them to do it more, and Sam did it well as when he came on, and we got the goal as a bit of a reward. We could have gone in at 2-0. I think MJ's had a header from the corner, and we've had a few efforts in and around the opposition box, but like I say, sometimes 1-0 keeps the mind sharp.
I think Giovanni Brown did everything but score today. You just couldn't kill the game off, could we?
Yeah, look, rounding the goalkeeper and then a fantastic block from their centre half. Giovanni has got that class in which gives you control. He sometimes brings the ball down and kills it dead from any position. And in a game where at times it was a midfield crunch and battle and the ball was going back and forth, Giovanni just adds that little bit of control. No qualms in terms of that chance, because that's good defending from the opposition player. But in relation to where his game at the moment, his effort he's giving the team, it's an incredible amount of work he does.
Obviously, I know you rested MJ today. You probably didn't expect to bring him on so early, but you obviously forced your hand on that one. How's Harry?
We picked Harry Kite on the basis that we felt it was going to be a physical game in the middle of the park. We trusted our three centre halves. We just felt we needed to boost that midfield a little bit, to offload a little bit on Tim and Archie as well. Kite's power in his legs as much as anything to get quickly to the ball. But that just shows how football can change. Such a shame it looks like a groin injury, so hopefully it's not a tear, hopefully it's only a strain. And it's another one we'll probably lose out of the squad in the next couple of weeks, but everyone's got to be ready to play, and it was the right thing to do to start him and take MJ not out of the firing line, just give him a bit of a break and a breather, because the middle of the pitch was not a nice place to be in today, but his introduction settled us as well, because he's another one who tidies the ball, and he's got that goal threat as well. So I'm pleased with where the group are. Another clean sheet and another outstanding performance from not the new back three, but Sam Stubbs, Piers Sweeney and Czech Diabate. But not many 20-year-old centre halves will come to Bradford and put in a performance like that, and when called upon, the goalkeeper did what he needed to do. But collectively I'm absolutely delighted with the group.
It's worth mentioning the clean sheets, isn't it? Obviously before Christmas we struggled for them, but now they just seem to come naturally. Yeah,
but you're never too far away from conceding, and you're never too far away from a hiding in football. So we're going to concede. It's important we keep on. I said at half time, it's not a game where we're just going to sit back and take the result as it stands. We've got to look to score the next goal, and we almost did that at times. We've got to try and keep hurting the opposition, so I want us to be a positive team in terms of our mentality, and to always look to score and look to outscore the opposition. But clean sheets are huge at this level, and we've got a bit of rhythm in terms of our defending at the moment, and like I say, we've got a good goalkeeper at the moment. Isn't really being tested as much as he was probably previously in the season.
We spoke before this game, about the atmosphere we expected, and we certainly saw both sides of that today. Yeah. When they're playing well, they're really loud, and when they're perhaps frustrated, they're really loud as well.
Yeah, passionate. Let's be honest. Passionate place, passionate football club, passionate fans. No better fan base in lower league football, and then no bigger stadium, no bigger arena to come to. And it's almost like the Coliseum when at times, in terms of the noise and the heat generate from around and behind you. We just kept them at arm's length long enough for that frustration to grow a little bit. And part of my instructions at half time were, don't give them an in, don't give anything to reignite their passion for the team, if that makes sense. We had to almost keep them as separate as we possibly could for as long as we could. You've just seen what the conditions as well.
That's probably the worst it's been all day, actually. It's worth mentioning Bradford, the side that Bradford started this game was quite different to that we'd seen in the league game and the FA Cup games. Do you think that worked to our advantage? Because we seemed to cope quite well.
Not really. I mean, I got asked in the week about preparations and new players for Bradford and new players for us. It's irrelevant, really. You can go in absolutely as in depth as you like to the opposition, but it's irrelevant. And that's not going to make the biggest difference. The biggest difference is focusing on yourself, your own performance, and still putting our style on the game. And I felt we somehow managed to wrestle enough with the ball where we could implement our style on the game, and that's probably why it's not been a bombardment for 90 minutes. It was patches and moments which were dangerous, but somehow we saw them out.
Obviously we can see the lads look like they're really enjoying their football at the moment, but we know
it's easy to enjoy when you win. Yes, it is. You don't enjoy it when you lose. But, results make you feel incredible, and in terms of momentum and the way the group feels, 3 results, wins in a week really builds that, and then to celebrate with the fans who've made the sacrifices all the way up here, that makes you feel good. But we'll lose games of football, we'll concede goals, we've just got to try and stay as level as we can. I think there's 17 games left. That's an awful lot of football still to be played, but this week's been a big week for us, but now next week's going to be an even bigger week.
Is it important, obviously, we enjoy the moment, we enjoy the form we're in, but don't get too high, because we know how things can change.
We never get too high. Things will change, Football gives you a spank and a slap every now and then, but the collective of what we're trying to do was on show again today. We know what we look like when we move the ball and we get our good players in a good attacking players areas, and let's not forget that's still a young group of players. I think I said about the starting team on Tuesday how many under 23s or players under 24 were in that starting lineup, and Harry Kite comes into it as well, so that's another youngster. I know he didn't last too long, but that's where we are, and for those young players to stand up to the test that was today, I can't hide how happy I am.
And finally, games just ticking them off now. Like you said, another one on Tuesday against the Harrogate side. We know they're a very difficult side to play against.
Another difficult one. Always difficult to play against. Well managed, well coached, fantastic group of players. A lot of admiration for that football club. But we're at home and we'll be trying to play on the front foot, trying to win the game. I can guarantee it won't be perfect. I can guarantee it won't look like our last couple of away games where we've been able to control certain aspects of the play. But we'll be giving everything we possibly can. And to finish with, I need to say best wishes to Oz. Obviously, he's had his surgery this morning, and we'll be waiting to see what the surgeon says at the start of the week.
Matt, congratulations. Thanks a lot.